Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Ladies and gentlemen, this podcast is brought to you in part by our Patreon page at patreon.com/Gear Network. That's Patreon, patreon.com/Gear Network, GERE Network. While you don't have to do this, if you would like to support us, that is a very easy way to do it. For as little as $2 a month, you can get this podcast as well as all others completely commercial free, as well as exclusive content like Patreon-only podcasts, videocasts, and blogs that are not regularly available on GearNetwork.com or any RSS feed. Your support helps us continue to keep up with upgrades to software, purchase professional equipment, and assist us with production costs. Again, patreon.com/Gear Network. Do it right now for as little as $2 a month.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
I'm a little bit drunk. Let's do this.
You're drunk?
Yeah, fat man, I'm drunk.
Sleazy drinking?
Yeah, that's what wrestling has done to me now.
Huh?
I was waiting for you to say you get bombed drinking ginger ale too.
I mean, I'm drinking lemon flavored water.
I am legitimately a little buzzed. So I did have a couple of shots of rum and I'm feeling it. So let's see how bad this show can go on the wrestling show. Welcome, everyone. This is Sleazy.
This is the Fat Man.
And welcome, everyone, to another wonderful episode. Blue Smock Nancy, they're awesome. They let us use that wonderful song, Unsettling Differences. You can find them on iTunes and Spotify. See, I am drunk. Fat Man.
You say that shit when you were sober anyway. You always sleazy all over the place.
I do. I really do. We got a couple of shows to run. This is more going to be like a regular episode, I think. No watch-alongs.
Nope.
Like, holy shit.
Nope.
And it's all WWE shows, too.
Yep.
What do you want to start with?
Come on. You should know.
Chronologically?
Yes, you know.
Okay, let's start with NXT TakeOver In Your House. Was there I don't think there was a pre-show for this, was there? I don't think so.
If there was, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I came in. What happened was I didn't watch either one live, obviously. But I started the actual show and then skipped like 5 minutes in because they did the whole musical act first. And like,
well,
really?
Yeah. But I do want to say after the musical act and when it felt like an In Your House from like the 90s, 96, 97, which I loved. Same voiceover, I loved it.
You got Todd Pettengill coming back. That was pretty cool.
Pettengill, that was cool too. Ica Pro.
The whole Ica Pro gimmicks. Now I'm going to say here, there were a lot of bits of comedy on this show. There were also a lot of bits of comedy on Backlash. And I know we're going to get shit for it no matter what. And I'm going to address it right now. What they did on NXT was humorous. Not humorous, humorous. It was actually funny. Whereas a lot of the stuff on Backlash was not. And fuck you. It doesn't matter if it was NXT or Backlash. It really didn't matter. It just so happened to be a lot funnier here. Sometimes the opposite's true. But this time, not because we're fucking NXT marks, but because it was actually funny. Okay, I got it off my chest. There's going to be a lot of shooting tonight. So anywho, we go from there to, where are we at? The 6-woman tag was first, I think.
Bring up the card, Sleazy.
I'm
Come on,
getting
stop
it.
I'm
getting it.
All over this
God
show.
damn it. I've got the wrong thing up. There it is. Okay. So, yeah, we got the 6-woman tag, which is Tegan Nox, Shotzi Blackheart, and Mia Yim versus Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez. I was going to say Raquel Welch for some reason, and Candice LeRae.
Did you watch Shawshank Redemption earlier or something like that?
Apparently so. It was okay. It was kind of an interesting thing to have Knox and Kai finish the match when basically the Candice LeRae feud was a little bit more prevalent, I guess. I don't know what do you want to say about that, but especially with how this show ended and how they continue the feud afterwards.
They are saving it. Come on, you should know by now.
I know, but it's like you could have had.
We've been shitting all over how about like, oh, why are they fucking getting this person to win over this person when they're gonna blow it off anyway? What's the point? And now you're bitching about them doing it the right way?
No, I thought it was interesting. I don't necessarily think it was a bad thing. I think it was an interesting way of doing it and not expected.
Oh,
that's all. Not that it's bad. Trust me, there are a lot of things bad over these two shows. This was not one of them.
Oh,
yes.
What'd you rate it?
I gave it 2.5 stars. It was okay match for house show.
You underrating piece of shit.
Really?
I got FDM's star ratings.
Oh God, here we go.
He gave it 3.25, and he is still an underrating piece of shit.
Really?
3.5. Really good match. When Gonzalez was in there, you can tell she's. I tried to look up. She's really, really, really green.
Yes.
The other wrestlers had to wait for her to get into the right spots, and she looked confused. Probably would have been better just to have Minium and Shotzi versus LeRae and Dakota Kai in a tag team match, but it was what it was. I still thought it was a really good match.
Okay, cool. Finn Balor and Damian Priest, the Priest versus the Prince. I mean, last time I remember, wasn't Finn a heel?
Yep, and I said the same thing in my notes. I'm like, was it Finn Balor a heel?
I mean, it's great that Finn's a face, kind of, but not really. I like the change in attitude. He's still a fucking dangerous human being, even though he's like 100 pounds soaking wet. But his demeanor about everything just works. Also, this was a great showcase for Priest as well, because Finn tends to work well with like significantly larger people. I thought this was really good. I gave it 3.75 stars.
You same rating piece of shit. So we're both wrong.
Oh God. So we all FDR got us?
FDR. Mm-hmm. You are drunk. FDM?
No, FDR.
You know, the guy that had Polo, was a president for four times? That FDM? That
yes.
FDR?
Yes.
Oh, you're cut off. Great physical
cut
match.
Me off, fucker.
That bump on the edge of the steps hurt my back watching it.
Yeah, fuck yes.
I think the wrong person won. I think Priest should have won.
I disagree only for one simple reason. I think they're going to put the strap on Finn Balor.
I don't.
The only reason why I think they're going to is because there's really nobody left on the roster currently that would be a face that could really take it off of him.
They're already setting up Cole's next feud. Did you watch NXT?
Yeah, with Dexter Lumis, right?
No. So you didn't watch NXT?
No.
I'll get to it.
Okay, because that's how it was left here. Was just kind of
That's not what they did.
Really?
I'll get to it.
Yeah, definitely. Lee versus Gargano. what can I say about this match that hasn't been said about every other fucking match featuring Johnny Gargano? It's fucking amazing. It was absolutely lovely. Keith Lee doing the whole pounce thing through the what do you call it? The hockey glass. The hockey glass thing was pretty fun. They were physical. The only problem I have is, and I hate saying it this way, but I don't buy Johnny Gargano as a heel. I really don't. He does heel as shit, but it seems like it's so unnatural, if that makes any sense. So you literally said and it was a great psychological match with Gargano working on like the eyes and the fingers too. Yeah. So you literally had everything else in my notes. So God damn it. Stop thinking like me, fucker. So why didn't Gargano win? If he's a newly heel and the Johnny Gargano way, why is he losing? I know Keith Lee's bigger and realistically Keith Lee should kick his ass, but if you're technically debuting a new heel in Johnny Gargano, shouldn't he have won? To further along the Johnny Gargano way? Yeah, I guess, but the wrong person won again. I mean, Gargano is also known for losing big matches. I mean, that's basically his character. It has been for years. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Yeah, wrong person won, but it was still a great match. I don't disagree with you in that respect. I'm just saying that from a character performance standpoint, it's believable that he would take a loss here, even though he turned heel. Okay, Last Chance Backlot Brawl. Whoa. What'd you rate it? Oh, 4.5 stars. I'm sorry. I gave it 4.25. Fuck Dave Meltzer gave it 6 stars. 3.5. Really? Yes. You fucking racist? I guess it's a racist thing, right? Sure. It loses a star because there's a black man in it? Wow, Black Lives Matter. Let's touch the elephant in the room, I guess, which sounded way more sexual than it should have been, I guess, but whatever. The whole Black Lives Matter thing, and our community here, and Fat Man can attest to this even more than I can even. We have personally seen and had to deal with a lot of the shit that's gone on in our community in terms of racism and just awful things that have been happening to everyone around here, you know? And I know a lot of companies and a lot of people are talking about, hey, you know, we stand with Black Lives Matter, but they don't. I'm not saying they don't mean it, but there's a lot of, yeah, Black Lives Matter, go. Also buy our stuff, please. Don't kill us on Twitter because we didn't say anything. You know what I mean? To have guys like Keith Lee and later on, you know, Big E and Kofi really truly put a voice to that message is very heartwarming in a company that's very well known for being very racist. So I have to give extra props to Keith here, and obviously, like I said, Biggie and Kofi as well, to get that message out a little bit more, and just having everyone kind of give a nod to it in a more authentic way than a lot of other companies do. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to get into further because I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. But no, it was the right thing to do. It absolutely was, and I'm glad for it, and I'm very happy to see it not be miniaturized. So let's get to that wonderful night in the evening where they take a match and destroy it by making it cinematic. The Last Chance Backlash Brawl, which is not the same as the Hollywood Backlash Brawl between Goldust and Roddy Piper, but whatever. It's for the NXT Championship. Adam Cole versus Velveteen Dream. How did you like this?
It was probably the worst of the pre-tapes between the Money in the Bank, Boneyard, Firefly Funhouse, and we'll get to the Edge Orton match later. It was probably the worst one. I think having commentary over it hurt it. Because the other ones didn't, this one did. And they were talking over Cole and Dream, talking shit to each other, and it kind of was a jumbled mess. Meltzer didn't rate it because it was a pre-tape. It was technically an actual match because it ended in a ring.
Yeah.
It was okay. Okay match for a house show.
I can't believe I'm saying this in 20, but this Adam Cole match is garbage.
Right.
First of all, to start, I got serious, oh my God, we're having a Halloween Havoc moment when Adam Cole came out.
Your PTSD.
Yeah, that was just, I was afraid the Yeti would be out soon. My problem is, it seemed like they forgot who Velveteen Dream was. Did you get that sense at all?
Yes,
right.
I did. It didn't seem like the Velveteen Dream.
I hate to say this, but it seemed like it was Patrick Clark. You know what I mean? It was definitely not the character we had come to know and love in the Velveteen Dream in this match for some reason. And I don't know why that was the case. I think part of it was the fact that he was dressed completely differently. His attitude for the match was quite different. The match was a bit of a clusterfuck. Like I said before, Dexter Lumis was out at one point. The Panama Sunrise onto the steel chairs was interesting, but okay, cool. I was shocked that Cole won, because I thought this was going to be before actually watching the match, I thought this was going to be the time where they put the rocket on Velveteen, but obviously that was not the case. The car windshield spot was fucking brutal. I will say that.
You can so what I did like about it, you can easily tell there was fresh blood on one shot and then dry blood on the other. So at least after the spot, they checked on Cole.
Yeah.
To make sure he was okay.
And then continued.
And then they continued. So I'm like, so it was clearly obviously it was a pre-tape, but it was clearly that I was like, okay, that's fine.
It was safe.
Edit that.
Safer.
I liked. Yes.
Yeah. And here's the other thing about it, and this goes throughout the entire night. This is the first pay-per-view special event, whatever the fuck you want to call them, that they actually had people in the crowd. They borrowed that from AEW, obviously. And to touch on that a little bit, the fucking smarks that go, oh, look, WWE is copying AEW. First of all, that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things because it worked. They're borrowing something that worked. Mm-hmm. It's making the shows better, even though it's literally smarks marking out or getting themselves over because it's all performance center talent and stuff. But it's a sense of at least there's somebody doing something, even if it's unlike the AEW where unlike AEW where it's
unlike the
AEW, like the Twitter. God damn, I'm old. Unlike AEW, where it's actual performers that you can pick out and go, oh, look, it's Vicky Guerrero. Oh, look, it's Private Party who wasn't booked tonight. It's just guys that are just random that you wouldn't know unless you literally knew who was at the Performance Center that night, which I actually kind of appreciate a little bit more, because then it literally is just a crowd, not, oh, look, it's that performer trying to get themselves over, that performer trying to get themselves over. So I actually appreciate that a little bit more. But I also believe that it helped in general bring an ambiance of an actual show together, which has been severely missing all of these pay-per-views up to this point. And because it was such a small crowd, that it also worked itself into the takeover in your house feeling too, because those crowds were small crowds because they did them in small venues. You know, the first like Revenge of the Taker was at Blue Cross Arena. That holds what? We keep having this question.
About 10,000.
It's about 10,000 people. It's not that much. So it was nice to have that little bit more intimate feel while still having a crowd. Karrion Kross and Tommaso Ciampa.
Dibs on Scarlett.
I have to concede her only because
She's hot.
she is a very attractive woman. But she's not Asian, so you officially get first dibs on non-Asians.
First bids?
Bids, yeah. You get first bids on that.
I get first bids.
Scarlett's amazing. And anyone who's seen her in anything, whether it be Ring of Honor, TNA, on the Indies, she's an amazing person, and she's also an amazing performer, amazing character. What they've done with her and Killer Kross is quite possibly the best thing they've done in NXT in the last 2 years in terms of a true entrance for a character. I love it. It's menacing. It brings a sense of similar to what the Demon brings when Finn Balor dresses up as the Demon. It also brings a sense of like Bray Wyatt's the Fiend character, but it's a lot more realistic, if that makes sense. Those are supernatural characters, but you know that Karrion Kross is just a legit badass that's just a little bit crazy. You know what I mean? And I think it comes over really well in their ring entrance. As for the match itself, how did you like it, though?
It's what it needed to be. It needed Kross to dominate a former dominant NXT champion.
I 100% agree. The match wasn't amazing because it was one-sided, but it absolutely needed to be that because they're debuting this amazing character. Let's see them not fuck it up. It is NXT, so there's a lot better chance that they won't fuck it up. What did you rate the match? I gave it 3 stars.
I gave it 2.
Okay.
Monster gave it 2.25, but but subjectively, it's what it needed to be. So I got no gripes over a 2-star match being exactly what it needed to be.
I want to also take this moment to point out that we've seen Adam Cole, Gargano, and Ciampa not in the main event in this show. Do you know when the last time that happened was?
(2017)
Specifically August 2017. That's fucking amazing. What a fucking run these 3 guys have had. I think that if you want to talk about a Hall of Fame specifically for NXT, all 3 of them are first ballot guys. Really.
Yep.
They've done so much for the brand, even above guys like Finn and, Seth and I hate to say this as well, but, even guys like Knock, these three guys truly made this their own brand. And the reason why NXT truly has been successful, I believe, is these three guys. And I can't even say that, guys like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have created and enjoyed as much success in NXT as these three guys have. So it's nice to see that they're kind of moving on. Both Ciampa and Gargano also lost on this show, which is also very interesting.
So Adam Cole's next feud is going to be against Cross.
I don't like that.
I don't either, because heel and heel.
Yeah, that's kind of dumb. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. It would make more sense if Cross was going after, and I hate saying this, but he should be going after Keith Lee or something.
No, I agree.
That's kind of dumb. I don't like that, but it is what it is, I guess. I'm not a booker, man. Main event, because LOL, of course. Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, and Io Shirai in a triple threat match, the Sleazy Special for the NXT Women's Championship.
Let me guess, greatest triple threat match of all time because an Asian won.
So funny story about that. I can't find it in the chat real quick, but I remember saying it was great for it being a triple threat. The Fat Man was going to say, you're only saying that because you have an Asian fetish. And I'd be like, those are facts. And then we move on. That's pretty much it, too. I mean, Io Shirai winning is fucking amazing. The match was a triple threat. It wasn't the greatest match in the world. In fact, I wasn't a huge fan of the match. But the moment needed to happen, and I'm glad it happened. And I feel like this was really the moment for Io Shirai. And I hope that they can get Charlotte Flair as far fucking away from NXT as possible. Which, spoiler, probably won't happen.
Oh, it will.
I think Io is... The problem with Io Shirai as champion right this second is that it's kind of strange because she kind of got a face pop. And when they see that, usually they kind of roll with that. And that's kind of problematic because I think Io's still a better heel. Despite being champion, despite getting that moment, despite, all this going on. And it's kind of what happened with Asuka, where Asuka immediately got turned face because of the whole, commentary thing. And then they dropped the title on her and then all of a sudden she's a face. It made no sense. And I hope the same thing doesn't happen with Io Shirai. That being said, match was barely a 2-star match. I was not a fan.
Okay, we're going to shoot, bro.
Oh, God.
This is the female match of the year. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Are you fucking kidding me here?
This match was fucking fantastic.
No, it wasn't.
4.5 stars, easy. What the fuck? I literally thought that, even though with the Asian fetish going on, I thought you were going to fucking rate it female match of the year, blah, blah, blah. I already had this fucking thing in my head. 2 stars. Get the fuck out of here.
You get the fuck out of here.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
What the fuck is wrong with you? It's a generic triple threat match. Are you fucking...
Though, because they weren't having 2 people in the ring, 1 outside. It was 3 people in the ring altogether for about 90% of the match. Literally, in my notes saying, Sleazy should not bitch about this match.
Watch me. It's terrible.
It was not your typical triple threat match. God, you're stupid as fuck. But I hated the finish.
The finish was garbage.
because we went through this a few years ago with Wade Barrett and The Miz and fucking Curtis Axel, where one of them was in the figure four, the other one pinned someone, and somehow the person who pinned them win. But isn't that a double pin?
Yes, because you're officially pinning them when they're in the figure four and their shoulders are down.
So that's my only gripe of the match, was the finish was stupid as shit. And Io was clearly the star of the match.
Oh, 100%.
But that's it. That's my only gripe. Female match of the year so far.
Really? What did FDM fucking rate this shit?
4.25.
You guys are fucking bunch of marks. Fucking Charlotte Flair marks. No, you're Rhea Ripley marks. That's what's going on here.
Io Shirai mark, Asian fetish bitch.
Obviously not. I rated it 2 stars.
You're a fucking bitch, yo.
Well, you have the better show. Oh, what did you rate the show overall?
Probably about 7.
Yeah, I gave it 6. So I think that it was better than the other shows. Unlike the other 2 shows, I would watch this one over again.
Let's talk about Backlash, because
I'm getting Blacklash here.
Blacklash?
Blacklash.
You're getting Blacklash.
I'm getting drunk. Come on. You know you want to talk about the greatest match ever.
So it looks like it may not be going to Iowa after all. Good. Match starts. Show starts with, guess what? A women's triple threat match.
I wonder if this is going to be any better than the last one I just watched.
What?
Well, I rated the last one I saw 2 stars. Let's see if this one's any better.
No, the text I just got.
Oh. What the fuck? We're taping a show here, goddammit.
Dude, a lot of shit going on right now. Triple threat match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Bayley and Sasha.
Oh, this is going to be a long fucking match.
Sasha. Defend against the Iconics, which is Billie Kay and...
The hot one? Not hot one.
No, the hot one.
Oh,
Billie
shit.
Kay and the hot one.
Okay, thank you.
Versus Nikki Cross and...
The hot one.
Alexa. Alexa.
You know how fucked up our show is going to be if there's a women's podcast
the match
revolution?
went 8 minutes and 50 seconds.
It was hot garbage.
Fuck, Dave Meltzer gave it 2... Or no, I didn't do Dave Meltzer's ratings because this happened last night. I got John Canton's ratings for this. He gave it 2 3/4 stars.
Fucking Mark.
I gave it 2.
You fucking Marks. It was 1 star. A piece of garbage match.
I absolutely loved the finish to where Sasha's face was deep into Alexa's ass.
That's the only reason why you like the finish.
That got bumped up by a star.
By your dick.
So, yeah. But it was a clusterfuck.
It was an absolute clusterfuck.
It was a clusterfuck that seemed rushed. It had a few kind of maybe decent spots, but that's about it.
It was hot garbage on a plate.
Your face.
Kind of true.
So, Sheamus versus Jeff Harvey?
Because we needed to bring urine into this. Blech. Actually, I was fond of the match, to be fair. Right person went over in Sheamus.
I agree.
the redemption story was actually pretty well done. Not in the redemption story of Jeff Harvey, but the redemption story of Sheamus. Because kind of the point of the feud was, and Cole actually brings this up at the end of commentary, is like, Sheamus isn't pissed because he's a fucking addict specifically. It's the fact that he's getting preferential treatment because he's the prodigal son that keeps returning while he was always the man that was there. And I actually like the alternative storytelling or the alternative narrative there. And I thought it was actually pretty well done. And the match wasn't that bad.
Right. It went 16 minutes, 50 seconds. Kent gave it 3 1/4. I gave it 2 3/4, slightly above average.
I gave it 3.5.
You overrating?
Yeah, I know.
How is this a 3.5 star match, but the women's triple threat NXT was a 2-star match?
Because this was better.
Because it was not better. You fucking
the storytelling was
gingers.
Better.
You're a mark for gingers. It was a competitive match with the right guy winning, like you said, but it went way too fucking long. Cut about 7 minutes off of it. It would have been fine.
Okay, I can agree with that. Yeah, it could have been done in under 10, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Raw Women's Championship. An Asian defends against a person that likes to hurt people.
Match of the year, obviously.
Match with 8 minutes, 25 seconds, about 9 minutes too long. Canton gave it 1 3/4.
I think he's being generous.
I think he's being way generous because I only gave it 3/4 of a star.
I think you're also being generous. I can't believe I'm rating an Asuka match under a half star, but here we are. 1/2 star. What the fuck are you doing? It's her first title defense and you can't even give her a win over an opponent she's beaten before?
Handily
beaten before. And spent weeks coming up to this moment beating the shit out of her for, frankly, hurting Kairi Sane.
And then you have it end in a stupid-ass double count-out?
Double count-out, and then she gets her heat back. What in the fuck was this? What are you doing?
Apparently, spoiler alert, Paul Heyman got removed from the Raw creative, and Bruce Pritchard took over both shows now. This was the match that they changed the finish on. Apparently, Asuka was supposed to go over clean, but they wanted to extend the feud to Extreme Rules to get to Asuka and Charlotte for SummerSlam.
So Charlotte can win? Question mark?
You know she's going to win.
Of course she's going to win because they almost had the 4 horsemen all with the women's titles. But then somebody had to go get fucking Prego.
Seth Rollins just not very safe, is he?
Not a safe worker. In the ring or in the bedroom.
Okay. Handicap match for the Universal Championship.
Now,
Braun Strowman defends against the Miz and John Morrison.
I know you enjoyed the music video. You said as such before.
I texted you going, what the fuck is this shit? And you're like, where are you at? I'm like, the music video. And you go, oh, that was stupid. I'm like, I kind of liked it. I'm like, it was really stupid, but I enjoyed it.
I will, once again, I always have to put this out there, but comedy is subjective as it always is. And you can only, you enjoy what you enjoy. I hated it. Like, with a passion. I thought it was dumb. I thought it was just ridiculous. I thought it was everything that's wrong with comedy. But it wasn't my cup of tea.
Right.
What was the match, though? Really, what was the match?
Before the match, they had like a little backstage thing to where they said that, if whoever pins Strowman, if they pin Strowman's going to be Universal Champion, because they want to be co-champion. So the kind of factor, they had him beat, and then Miz pulled Morrison off, and then that's kind of what cost them to both lose. So I like the storytelling aspect of it, and it was fine. It was fine.
I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been Braun Strowman double
Versus
power
Goldberg.
slamming them. Well, I meant just in the match.
Oh. Ken gave it 2 stars. I agree. It was fine I thought it was fine for what it was.
It was
Better than what I expected to.
It was a star and a half. It was a what the fuck are you doing? It wasn't the worst match of the night. It wasn't the worst moment of the night. But it wasn't great either. Let's talk about the actual worst moment of the night.
Nope. That's not up yet.
It isn't?
Nope, because fuck you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I completely forgot about the match. How sad is that?
Because fuck you.
WWE Championship match.
Thank you. God damn it.
Sorry, I will edit it in post.
No, you won't. Drew McIntyre defense against Bobby Lashley. Match went 13 minutes and 15 seconds. To be honest, I was in and out of this match because, again, I don't know if this will make going through a little personal shit right now. I may be traveling out of state, so I was kind of texting through the whole time, doing shit like that. But for what I watched of it and heard of it, it seemed like a really good match.
It was a really good match.
So I can't really give it a fair rating, but it looked like, for the bits and pieces I saw, I thought it was pretty good.
I'm going to say...
I did see the finish of it, though. So we'll get to that. I'll talk about that now. I guess on paper, it would have worked if it was executed well, but Lashley barely hit Lana. Actually, he didn't even hit Lana. Lana just fell backwards. It was so terrible. And then 2 seconds later, MVP's right back up. So thanks for selling that, MVP. So the ending looked like a complete fucking mess.
I think even on paper it was stupid. The match was great up until the finish. It was probably it was definitely the best WWE title matches this year.
I don't think it was as good as McIntyre Rollins, but okay.
I think it was. I absolutely think it was, because these two guys...
Again, for what I've seen.
I think that they really put everything out there. They did things that they don't normally do. They did spots that were unique to their characters. They pulled out moves that they don't normally do. I thought the beginning to the match was very well done. Having Lashley just basically come out and try and truck him immediately. That's exactly what you want to do. That was the kind of the storyline. So the psychology was also there. It marred by one of the dumbest finishes. Not only is it overdone anyway, but it basically nerfed all the character work you had done up to that point. I hated that, and it was definitely up there with one of the better matches till the finish, and I give it 3.5 stars for that alone.
Ken gave it 3.25.
Yep. So now, can we talk about the best moment of the night?
Literally, I went from WWE Championship. In my notes, I put W.T W or F.
Yep, that was the match.
What the fuck?
There is so much wrong with this. Can we start with the part that I hated the most, probably, was the ninjas on bikes moment, where the tag team match...
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
LOL Asian.
Yeah, well, of course. But first of all, that's Akira Tozawa. If you guys didn't recognize him, leading a gang of biker ninjas and a very big ninja with a sword. And we had to have the tag team match be put on hold while they fight the motherfucking ninjas. Okay. The obvious racist overtones aside, what the fuck are you doing here? I mean, we're fighting ninjas on our pay-per-view now? This was supposed to be some sort of obvious, nod to their previous, vignettes beforehand. And yeah, WWE's done this before. We've done this many, many times over the years. But this particular segment is just fucked up beyond any belief. The finish of the match, and I can't believe I'm fucking saying this, was the four of them together after falling into a garbage bin.
It ended exactly where it needed to be because that was fucking garbage.
I shit you not, a fake alligator was coming to bite them. I assume it was an alligator. You saw scales, you saw something, and it was kind of growling. I don't know what the fuck that was. That was the finish to the Raw Tag Team Championship match.
Wasn't a match. They didn't make it to the ring. Because remember the female referee that thought Hanson was cute? She said that, guys, what are you doing? Your match is next. So it was just a pre-tape to have a pre-tape. So it was a complete waste of fucking time and resources, by the way. In a pandemic where you probably shouldn't be doing this shit. Save a little bit of money.
What the fuck are we doing here? I really don't know what to say about this, other than the fact that it probably should never have been done. They probably thought it was funny as hell. That's some good shit, pal.
That is 100% Bruce Pritchard.
Okay. I think that Bruce Pritchard needs to hang up his fucking white jacket. What the fuck are you doing here? Seriously. Can we talk man to man? And I know we're going to disagree on this, but what are your top 5 greatest wrestling matches ever?
Top 5?
Top 5. No particular order even.
Okay. Angle Babylon Royal Rumble, 2003. Taker Michaels, WrestleMania 25. Probably Flair Steamboat, the second one in New Orleans. That's 3, right?
Yeah.
Steamboat Savage, WrestleMania 3. And those are 4 quick ones. I can't even think of a 5th. There's,
Brett Bulldog.
Cena, Punk, Money in the Bank.
Cena Punk, great one. Guerrero JBL.
No.
I'm just throwing out there.
Bret Hart from
Austin Hart, 13. Yeah, great. A Triple H Cactus Jack. The Rock Mankind, the Rumble one where he basically caved his head in. Any of the TLC matches. Okay. Was Edge and Randy Orton anywhere near that?
100% not even close.
From a marketing,
I still thought it was a really good match. But it wasn't the greatest.
it wasn't the greatest wrestling match ever? Really?
Even Edge, after it was taped, went on Twitter and goes, I really hated that they prepped it up like that, hyped it up like that.
Considering before they did it, he was defending it wildly all over Twitter.
Well, probably because he hurt himself during the match. His first, quote, real wrestling match back, and Edge has to pull an Edge and hurt himself.
Okay, what did you like about it? The actual match, obviously, right?
I thought it was a really good wrestling match.
I thought it was too long.
It was too long.
I thought the canned heat
Yes.
was garbage.
Because I immediately, because I watched this morning, I immediately messaged you going, how the fuck did the crowd get 3 times louder? I'm like, did they fucking pipe in crowd heat? And yep, they did. The This Is Awesome chants when no one is like clapping or they're just standing there.
They're literally just standing there.
Oh, my cat's freaking out because he's an asshole. But yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? Ow! Oh, he's attacking a fly. But yeah. Hello?
I think that here's my problem with this, is that if they actually had a regular match without the bullshit, it would have been a good match. I think it would have been.
Stop there. It was still great, but the piping crowds noise didn't work. If they had an actual regular match in front of a real crowd, it would have been better.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I had.
Well, we've been doing this show for 7 fucking years. At least we know a little bit about professional wrestling, I would think by now.
Right.
How many times have we been told we were wrong about shit? But the reality is, you had everything put together. You had a great story to tell. Why did it have to be the greatest match ever? Why did we need the fucking Wile E. Coyote cam for the moment where Edge took a fucking rope assist DDT? Why did we need 50,000 cuts, Kevin Dunn? You know, it was a good match that was produced to garbage. It really, really was. And I think that was the problem with this entire thing, is that they had to make sure that it could even touch the quote-unquote greatest wrestling match ever. So they doctored the shit out of it to the point where you've made it actually worse than what you actually had.
We don't know that. How do you know what they had wasn't better?
Because if you take away all that stuff, you still have a good match. The bones of the match are still there. They just, when you put lipstick on a pig, you still see the pig, but it means, you know what I mean?
Why are we talking about your mom on this podcast, bro?
I know, but still, I think the reality is, actually, that was a choice joke. I love that one. I have to give you props for that one. At the end of the day, you still saw the bones of the match, and the bones of the match were really good. If you could get past the fucking cuts, you can get past the fucking canned heat. If you got past the stupidity of the camera angles that they did, the stupidity of just the weird shit that they did. I'm glad that they thought it would be nice to have the Fink announce the two of them. But in the same breath, aren't you kind of saying that fuck you guys? That
also
your current
that the
product
Madison
is
Square
shit?
Garden, the Madison Square Garden mic and Charles Robinson in the old school referee uniform, like I know you're about ready to say, because I made the point, was, aren't you kind of saying, well, today's wrestling sucks and it's better back then? And so we're trying to get matches that happened back then. This is trying to be an old school wrestling match. So it's the greatest match ever.
And I dare say it's not because of that. It's not because of that's what we as fans believe is the greatest wrestling match ever. It's because the two people who are at the top right now, Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon, believe is the best match ever.
Right.
And that's the big problem right now. And that's one of the problems with getting rid of Paul Heyman. Because Heyman understood that there was more than one way to book a match. There's more than one way to get people over. There's more than one way to tell a story. Not everything has to be Hogan Andre. Not everything has to have the very simple stories that they always had. Wrestling changes. Wrestling evolves. This is 2020. I was going to say 2010.
I know.
But, you know, your big draws aren't Coco Beware and the most racist fucking, you know, matches in the world. You know, the fact that, you know, Austin and Rock are no longer here, but you still have amazing talent here that's able to showcase a lot of great things. The fact that Seth Rollins wasn't on this show is a total head scratcher. The fact that now I think Kevin's actually injured right now, but there's a lot of people on this show that
he was.
I think he's got an ankle injury of some sort.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people on the show that they didn't book, which were total head scratchers. Where's the New Day?
Right.
You know, there's a lot of great talent here that's just gone. And it goes back to the big point. Why is the greatest wrestling match ever between two guys, granted have been around for 20 years, on some random pay-per-view in 2020 that no one really cared about? Because at the end of the day, no one cared about this match when it was over. It was 40 minutes of, okay, 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 and then it was finally over. It needed to be 20 minutes shorter.
Mm-hmm.
It needed a lot less camera angles and just more editing straight. If you're going to fucking do it, just make it beautiful. You don't have to fucking gussy it up. What the hell are you doing? I love the fact that the finish was the punt.
Well, yeah, and because, you know, Edge is only part-time anyway, so it gets him to write off for a couple of months while Orton debuts. Here's some news and notes about that.
Okay.
It appears that Edge tore his tricep filming the match. According to fuck Dave Meltzer, WWE had Edge and Orton go through their Backlash match from start to finish at the initial taping, and they did so fine without Edge sustaining any injuries. Where the company had the two superstars go back and retape the match a couple additional times to clean up spots they didn't care for or make them better, and to do spots over so WWE could capture some of the unique camera angles and execute some of the cool edits in the post-production of the match. It was during the second taping of the match that Edge reportedly suffered a torn tricep. While the exact spot of that injury occurred is not known at the time, early speculation is that Edge sustained the injury while taking one of the many top rope RKOs that Orton delivered throughout the bout. As noted, freeze-frame images of the match between Edge and Orton at Backlash pay-per-view show that the Radar superstar has some visibly deep bruising on his arm right around the spot where the triceps are located. For those who missed it, there's a video of this. There's a picture of the triceps in the link.
Okay.
Well, the severity of the injury is yet to be revealed. It's a torn tricep, and he did already have surgery on it.
You already had surgery?
This was taped last Sunday.
Okay.
So he probably got the diagnosis and probably had surgery a couple days later.
Wow. What did you think about this show as a general rule?
Well, first, star ratings for this match.
3 3/4. I mean, it's...
Wow.
I really think it took so much away from the match. It was 40 minutes of just too much.
So you still think it was a really good match? It was just too much.
It was just too much.
Okay. Guess what I rated it?
What's that?
3 3/4.
Okay, cool.
Canton gave it 4.5, by the way.
Yeah, he's a mark.
Yep.
Fucking mark.
And I thought the show was okay. Like, it was okay.
It's not a show I would watch again.
Oh.
I think the crowd helped. But once again, it's a show that, unlike the NXT show, it still felt like an empty arena show. And that's a big problem for me. It doesn't come off as authentic as, it's better than it was, but it's not to the point where I can really stand it. I haven't watched really any of the Raws or SmackDowns because of it either.
I really haven't either. I've been following what's happening. I just haven't really watched them.
Same here. That's not even true sometimes.
Jump into live news and rumors. They got the websites up.
Sweet. Where are these coming from?
Rockjob.com.
Put him over. Very nice.
Apparently, AJ Styles moved to SmackDown due to tensions with Paul Heyman.
Well, that's a fucking problem because now he's not there.
Well, right. Was moved to SmackDown because he didn't get along with Paul Heyman, as well as not being able to handle the locker room banner that would make fun of his beliefs in politics and conspiracy theories.
Oh, he's a flat earther.
Who, Styles?
Yes.
Oh, what a dumbass.
He's just a good old buff from Georgia.
Meltzer responded to these reports by sort of confirming that there is/was heat between Heyman and Styles, but points that it is stemming from releases of his Gallows Anderson. According to Meltzer, Styles was furious at the firings and blamed Heyman, even though ultimately it was Vince McMahon's call.
Right. He felt like Paul didn't vouch for them enough. And to on Paul's side of it, he just got fired himself. So obviously it wasn't going to matter that much.
I guess we're going to keep hindering Ginger. Sorry, my bad.
Thank you.
Jinder Mahal underwent knee surgery last week in Birmingham and saw that definitely. Additionally, the surgery was expected to be minor in nature, but once doctors got in, the damage turned out to be more significant. He was off WWE for, I think, a shoulder injury.
And for a long time.
He was going to start a program with Drew McIntyre.
I would have loved to see that.
I know you would have. I would not have, but
special guest referee Heath Slater.
It won't happen.
No, because he's gone.
Christopher DeJoseph, one of the lead
Big Dick Johnson.
There's a lot of different versions of what happened to his release. One consistent version that he was on a Zoom call with Stan Stansky.
Really? Stan Stansky?
Yes. The SVP of Creative Services, as well as Kevin Moore, the SVP of E-commerce and Venue Merchandising, ended up saying things that he shouldn't have, which came across as bad to them. When the story got to Vince, he didn't waste much time in letting him go.
Really? You fire Big Dick Johnson? How could you?
Charlotte Flair will reportedly once again be pushed as the company's top female star.
Yeah, because Becky's gone.
Yep.
Okay, whatever.
So, bye-bye, Asuka.
Well, it was a good run. Hey, she YouTuber now.
Huh? No, I'm just hunting at this headline. If it'll let me click on it, thank you.
Nope.
Several years ago, former WWE/WCW writer Vince Russo, your buddy.
Hang on. Follower of the wrestling show, follower of me on Twitter.
Your buddy, for having an Asian panties on a pole match, was secretly hired by Impact but blew his cover when he accidentally sent an email to a reporter who then reported on it. Okay.
We talked about that when it happened.
Yeah. Recently, there has been more rumors that Russo is once again involved with Impact in some capacity, but he has publicly denied this, and the promotion has privately also said so. Okay.
Just hire him. It's fine.
Right. Mike Johnson noted that Impact at one time did have discussions for using Russo at TNA. There's no place like home pay-per-view that would have taken place in April, but plans were abandoned after the pandemic. Since then, a source from Impact say that Russo has not been used in any way, shape, or form by Impact since. He's not been at any tapings in Nashville, and there are currently no plans for Russo within the company in any capacity as a consultant, independent contractor, or employee. It's just fascinating to me that he gets such a bad rap that they have to make a public statement to say he ain't working for us.
Yeah. He's not that bad, first of all. It just simply isn't that bad. Do we like what he's done in the past? Have we made fun of his ideas? Yes, but he was different. And different isn't always bad. Judy Bagwell on a forklift match.
Watch along.
Watch along. It's happening, you guys.
As I noted, Bruce Pritchard is now creative of both Raw and SmackDown. Heyman's just going to focus on his on-screen character.
Yeah, fuck you too.
And most people are kind of like, that's expected.
Yeah, we knew this was happening. When they bounced Bischoff, it was only a matter of time before they bounced Heyman. I thought. It's stupid. It's all stupid. It's fucking ridiculous. And all that's going to happen is that we're going to have another dip of fucking garbage booking once again, and we've already seen it in Backlash. You know, it's the beginning of the fucking bullshitting on, and people are starting. We just got used to Heyman booking for Raw, and he was starting to do good things, and now everyone on the Raw side's fucking terrified now because he was working on building stars.
Because ratings are really low. Well, look, ratings are low everywhere.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Ratings low everywhere.
You're the only live sport right now. Go fuck yourself. That's not true.
But that's one of the reasons why they're like, we're the only entertainment. Why aren't our ratings better?
Because you have
nobody's in the crowd. It's awkward to watch. Yes, people are now starting to put NXT trainees in the crowd, but
it's helping, but it's not enough.
Yeah, once crowds get back, ratings will bump up. Just be patient, guys.
They're just worried about AEW and their Wednesday night slot.
Yeah, because Raw's on Wednesday.
Exactly.
Impact Wrestling is butting heads with his top superstar, Tessa Blanchard. Reports that the promotion requested that the current world champion send in promos. Current world champion. This was June 11th. I thought she lost the title.
I don't know.
I thought she lost the title. You said that Mr. iPhone won the title.
He did.
Tessa Blanchard, date 1. January.
Literally, what?
Huh?
That's not right. Okay, whatever.
Yep. She still has it. She never lost it. Anyway, Impact requested that the current world champion send in promos for tapings for the weekly show on Access, but Blanchard failed to do so. Speculation that things may worsen from there. Blanchard has been out of action due to traveling restrictions from COVID-19 and has been quarantining in Mexico.
Which makes sense.
Impact recently revealed that she'll be defending the championship at Slammiversary in a fatal 5-way against Ace Austin, Trey, Eddie Edwards, and Michael Elgin.
I went back through and looked. Moose is claiming he's the TNA World Champion.
Not the TNA World Champion.
Yes.
Okay.
I assume the end result is going to be, yeah, we're combining the titles. But whatever. Point being, he is TNA World Champion. But he isn't really.
The tits and ass world champion.
I mean, shouldn't that be Tessa Blanchard's title?
It should. Mr. Wrestling 2 passed away.
Yeah, I heard that. That's sad.
Yep.
That's all you get. Sorry.
Johnny Walker.
Texas Ranger.
That's Walker. Fuck you. Johnny Walker, the Scotch.
Yes. The good drink, beverage.
Yeah, a lot of dead air. Sorry. I'm still dealing with some shit.
God damn it, pal.
Apparently, Jackson Riker has been
a little racist bitch.
Yep.
So
WWE Locker Room continues to fume over Jackson Riker's tweet in support of Donald Trump. And according to Fuck Dave Meltzer, one person suggests that after those developments, the Forgotten Sons tag team and the gimmick will be difficult to continue if Riker hasn't said what he did due to recent world events.
I can't blame him. There's the reality of it. I can't blame him for literally living his gimmick. Is it tone deaf? Yes, absolutely. They also had a bunch of fucking Asians. Ching Chang, I know karate. So therefore we're going to be in a skit with a bunch of people. Fuck you. This company is just so fucking racist that the fact that they've decided that that's the hill they're dying on is so strange. They're heels. They got heat. Goddamn, pal, the fucking heels.
New Japan announced return to live events this month. Schedules and brackets for New Japan Cup revealed.
Yep. My tits are erect.
Your little hermaphroditic porn.
Yes. Also, while this is all going on, just to peel back the curtain right now, I'm fighting with Skype right now.
Why?
So Skype has a built-in. It automatically changes the volume if it's too loud or too soft. I've turned off the setting, but it keeps changing it anyway. So every few minutes I got to go back and turn up the sound or turn it back down to where it should be. It's pissing me off, something terrible.
I did notice you got like really loud for like a second.
Yeah, that's why.
Elias has a pectoral tear.
I actually like how they wrote him off.
By Jeff Harvey running him down in
Fuck you, guitar man.
I'm the only guitar man. Even though I'm not, because of JEFFJARRETT.
No, that's double J Jeff Jarrett. That's JEFFJARRETT. That's double J Jeff Jarrett. Get it right. He broke 5,000 guitars, never drew a dime. Jeff Jarrett.
Spend my days working hard on the go.
But the hands on the clock keep turning too slow.
Booker T says Impact Wrestling might make a big play on some recently released WWE superstars.
I do have a little bit of information on that. I know who two of them are.
Do it, you won't.
Well, here's the thought. Obviously, this is deep rumor that Gallows and Anderson are trying to get two deals. One from New Japan, just for Japan, and then in the States they would work for TNA or Impact. That's what I've heard. I'm not sure how true that is. I'm not sure if that's going to be a good idea for them, honestly, but whatever. Two contracts are better than one? Question mark?
Sure.
Who do you think they bring in? Who should they bring in?
I don't care.
What would make you watch Impact? If El Generico and Kevin Steen went to Impact, would you watch it?
Of course, I'm not stupid. But they're not anytime soon.
The most on-brand Impact signing would be Zack Ryder.
I don't like mentioning his name, so I didn't say him. But I was thinking the same thing.
Matt's a good dude.
Dave Meltzer was wrong. Oh, my God. In an update of a recent headline that insinuated that Adam's Cole's contract is set to expire this summer, and he hasn't come to a new agreement with WWE, and with the possibility he might jump to AEW, this report is actually false.
Really? You don't say.
He signed a 3-year contract with WWE sometime last year, meaning he's going to be with the company for another at least 2 years, and isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
Shock of shocks. How did that happen?
Oh, my God. Dave Meltzer was wrong. Only because I can tell you what happened. He showed up at an AEW party with his fiance who works for AEW, and now Meltzer's like, he's going to AEW. His contracts. Fuck you. He showed up to a party with his girlfriend.
Hey. Plans change.
It's his crown jewel.
What the fuck? Seriously. Do you have any more news and rumors?
I'm kind of just like going through. Nobody ROH. You know what? ROH really hasn't. They really don't have a place that they can just set up shop and fucking just tape. But
yep.
WWE reportedly considered bringing back some recently released talent.
Well, they did re-sign Drake.
Yes.
So Spud is back. I think that was kind of the plan anyway. Is that once they started touring again and actually had real shows and got everything going, that they would hire them all back. because I think part of the reason why they did the cuts had nothing to do with the fact that they were losing money per se or had a shit ton of money. It was the fact that they're a publicly traded company, so they have to make it look like that they're cutting back because they potentially might be losing revenue. And that's one of the biggest problems with being a public company, is that you're a slave to the stockholders, you're a slave to the board of directors. And I think as soon as WWE gets back on the road and gets everything going, they're going to hire every single one of those guys back.
You want to be great? What's
that?
Kind of like, I want to say like an invasion angle with them, but make them all like a fucking group. We're against WWE. They cut us, blah, blah, blah. That would be fucking perfect.
Like, I don't know. What was that group that
Nexus?
Debuted 10 years ago?
But it wasn't like that, though.
It wasn't like that, but technically none of them had contracts other than Stu. The difference was they
did have contracts.
Well, that was the point of NXT. The first season of NXT was they were fighting for a contract in WWE. That was the work. That was the gimmick. Obviously, yeah, they did actually have contracts. That's not the point of it. The point of the angle was Stu was the only one that got the contract, but they were all fighting together to everyone got contracts because it was a dog and pony show. Laugh, my puppets, laugh. And they decided to fight back instead. And it wouldn't be too far off from what they're doing now. You guys thought we were just fucking dead weight. Now we're coming back and we're going to beat the shit out of all of you.
Yeah, that would be perfect. What better way to get new talent over?
Yeah, those fucking guys like Zack Ryder.
Don't bring Zack Ryder.
Okay, like Heath Slater.
He can go back over. See, Heath Slater can go too.
But I mean, I think that's the bigger problem there. I'm not against it. I think that they don't have the balls to do it. Bruce certainly doesn't.
No. I gotta watch this video of a baby.
Okay, while you're doing that, I want to talk about the COVID thing. Like everyone else has been talking about. As everyone obviously knows, we live in upstate New York. Our area is set to go into what they're calling phase 3. And what phase 3 is that we have, what is it? Fucking restaurants can be open at 50% capacity, and there's fucking.
No, I'm laughing because you got bars reopening, and the first night, we got to keep social distancing. The first night, 200 people on like a little tiny porch.
Of course.
Are you guys fucking stupid?
I went into...
And then Cuomo's like, you guys are fucked. If this happens again, we are shutting you down.
It's phenomenal. And then you've got people sitting there going, how dare Cuomo keep us safe? Whatever.
It's the people that didn't care to begin with that are saying that shit.
Right, exactly.
They think since we're in phase 3. Listen, I'm going to say this right now, and I think I've said it on even one of the watch-alongs. If I were to have get it, I would have gotten it already. So I think we're past it. But you still need to take precautions. Like, my personal belief aside, I still wear a mask at work. Like, you still got to take precautions. Like,
today, the numbers came out from Monroe County, the county that I live in and Fat Man works at. We've had 8 new cases. That's it. 8. This is at a time where we were getting anywhere between 50 and 75 cases a day. We're down to 8.
8.
So this stuff is working. These thought processes are working. The masks are working. They're also doing a lot of different thoughts on the actual guidelines. Is it that what's protecting us? They don't actually know. And before we become the science fucking podcast like this show tends to devolve into, or whatever new fucking topic we hit, the reality is we don't know how it's being spread. We didn't know how it was being spread. We were taking these precautions because irrespective of how it's actually being spread, one of these things is helping us. So we have to keep doing them until we know for sure that it's not staying on surfaces so that we have to constantly hand sanitize. We still do hand sanitizing. We still clean everything off constantly until we know that it's not being transmitted by coughing in somebody's face. We still need to keep masks on. We talked about, I don't think we actually talked about this on the show, but I do delivery stuff in my spare time because I really love money, ? I'm not going to tell you how I work there because I don't want to give them press because they're still a shitty company. But that's beside the point. Let's just say they involve red bags. I'll just leave it at that. But and require an app, and they deliver food, maybe ? Anywho, the point being is that I'm going in and out of restaurants all night. I'm going in and out of fucking Walmart all night. From last week to this week, I have seen more people without masks on than I have seen in the last 3 months because people are not giving a shit anymore.
Because, like I said, since the number they look at the numbers, and with businesses opening up again, they're like, it's over.
So keep yourselves safe. That being said, I know there is a particular promoter. We're not gonna name names, but let's just say he is a Trump supporter, and he enjoys working in the Southern Tier area. And
he likes cheeseburgers.
And he's upset. And to be fair, I think rightly so. Because what they have told New York State in terms of running shows in New York State is that to be able to run a show, you have to have the New York State Athletic Commission sign off on a show in the state. Okay, fine. The problem with that is that the New York State Athletic Commission is based in New York City. New York City is in phase 1, possibly too soon. Their office will not open until phase 4.
Right.
Until that happens, no show can run in New York State. Period. Even if other areas of New York have reached phase 4. They can't do it. They will not sign off on a show. That's bullshit. That is legitimately.
Why? Okay, so why do we have to keep his name?
Moose?
Yeah, I was gonna say, why are we keeping his
I don't
name?
know. It was funny.
I thought you were gonna say something controversial, but I'm like, it's fucking Johnny Moose. Like, promote the promotion.
There's no
are pissed off we can't run a show.
Moose and I's even though we kind of look similar, our politics are quite possibly on opposite ends of the spectrum. But in this particular circumstance, he's absolutely right. One of the other things I wanted to bring out is that Pennsylvania actually did release a statement on what you need to do to run a show. And I have that in front of me. Haha. So these are the counties that are in the green phase. So unlike New York, who had a 4-phase approach, Pennsylvania had a 3-phase approach. So they went red, yellow, and the green. So anything in the green phase, the following is allowed. No more than 250 spectators. So that means obviously UPW can run. Or greater than 50% occupancy, whichever is less. All the people in attendance, especially those around the ring, must adhere to strict social distancing, except for the wrestlers and the referee. Each wrestlers will have to have a separate dressing area. Ooh. Yeah. All wrestlers and any other members that cannot practice proper social distancing must have their temperature taken before entering the arena. Any temperature above 100.4 will result in the individual not being permitted to enter the building. These individuals must also be required to sign a form indicating that they have not had any nose SARS-CoV-2 infections and have been admitted to the hospital for any type of COVID-19 symptoms. That's not within the last 2 weeks. That's ever.
Right.
Okay? The ringside physician can deny entry to any individual that's symptomatic or poses a risk. So even if they're not actually having a symptom, but the doctor thinks there's a risk, they'll bounce you.
So it's well documented on the show. I cough.
You'd be
a
fucked.
lot.
You'd be fucked.
I cannot come to those shows.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with COVID. I've been through this before. I've been seen by doctors. They go, sometimes a cough is just a cough.
That is just the beginning. The ring area needs to be sanitized after every bout.
Yep.
The venue needs to be sanitized before and after the event. The promoter shall have hand sanitizer readily available at ringside to be used by everyone. Social distancing, strictly enforced. Commentators and media will be spaced apart. You cannot have them at one table together, like in a traditional setting. All spectators of the event will be required to wear a mask. The promoter must designate primary point of contact for all questions related to COVID-19. So anyone in the building have to be provided with this person's contact information. All athletes must bring their own water and drinks to the event.
Huh?
Yes. There will not be any water fountains that can be used. No concessions, nothing. Whenever possible, equipment and other personal items should be separated and not shared. Create protocols to limit entrance and exit traffic. And that at any point, counties, locations may change from green back to yellow stage, and then all this means nothing. As soon as it goes back to yellow, game over, you can't run a show there anymore. So you could promote a show a month or two in advance, and then when it gets to show day, the county goes yellow and you're fucked.
Yep.
And that is Pennsylvania. I can only imagine how bad it's going to be for New York when we do finally figure out to run a show.
And speaking of running shows,
July 11th, New York Championship Wrestling is running.
Nope. Not what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Don't give a shit about that.
I just found that one funny because they don't give a fuck.
I saw that. A year before we started this podcast, we actually kind of started a wrestling promotion called New York Championship Wrestling.
Yes. That's ironic, don't you think?
But there is a return of one very special promotion to our hearts.
Yes.
Maybe, if this shit actually is able to run. 2C Dub!
2C Dub!
2C Dub!
It's harder to chant in unison on Skype. I'm sorry.
December 20th at the Pastime.
That's subject to change.
And I'm not bringing a ring in.
Well,
fuck you.
Yeah. One of us isn't.
Yeah, I'm not.
I may or may not have signed up for something, but that's beside the point.
December 20th. They put the event down from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Because they're going to say doors open at 3, and they're going to open at 5:30.
5:30. The show ain't going to start till 8. It's 2CW.
It's 2CW. It's going to be a 2.5-hour show. We'll be out of there by 11. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
This is fucking amazing. And there's already been assigned talent to appear. If you guys have any idea about 2CW at all, this one's obvious. Spike Dudley is going to be there 100%. My question is it truly going to be a full-on wrestling event?
I'm not. I think what do you mean?
Because the way he's promoting it, he's making it sound like it's a retrospective event. and he's very. It's strange how he's worded it.
Maybe he's doing it to try to get around the Athletic Commission.
I mean, yeah, he's always had issues with them, but if you look at it from the perspective of, yeah, I'm going to run a show, but the reality is I'm running a convention almost. Does that make any sense? Like,
I think it's going to be. It could be. I think it's going to be both. Show. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I think it's going to be an actual wrestling event, but there's going to be a ton of meet and greets beforehand.
Yeah, Johnny Law is going to be there and whatnot.
Nick Angel's probably going to be there. Delaney's probably going to be there.
I don't know who any of that. Oh, by the way, I don't think it's been said enough over the past few months, but we have a lot of businesses opening up, including a particular business that nobody should ever go to. I know this is very close to Rochester, but whatever. Fuck Pop Rock. They can go suck a goddamn dick. If you want to know why, DM me, bro. I'll give you an entire story. Not going to say it on air. I think I've said it before, but if you don't know the story, DM me on Twitter, DM me on Instagram, whatnot.
DM him on the Twitter, on the InstaFace,
and make sure you add a dick pic
on the Facegram.
The Facegram, yes.
So,
the Facegram. But yeah, that's life here
on his MyFace page.
On my MyFace page. What? The hell's my MyFace page?
Dude, again, I made the reference before. The League. You don't like it. Fuck off. Watch it. It's great.
My face. Your face. You got anything else?
Nope.
Cool. That's a show. That's a real show. God damn.
We did
it feels good to be back. I mean, like, truly back, talking about shit and pissing all over each other.
Not doing watch-alongs?
Yeah. Sometimes they can get...
Well, we still got to do a 2-year-old watch-along for... That I promised... Well, a watch-along I promised 2 years ago for the 93 Rumble, because that came back up on my Facebook memories. It's like, oops. Oh, shit.
God damn it.
The 91 Rumble watch-along, and then we'll just go from there.
Yeah. Yeah, so as always, gearnetwork.com. Go check out the page. Go check out all the podcasts out there. All Bets Are Off with Robbie Vegas. Great podcast. Check them out. Check out the support page. Support the network. Check out all the links in there. Always go to thewrestlingshow.com. Check out our site, too. We got a lot of cool little bits and pieces. We do have merch on there. We do have a Teespring store if you want to check out. We have T-shirts, hoodies, whatnot. Check it out. We're probably going to release a special shirt sometime soon where all the proceeds go to Black Lives Matter. I think we're going to do one for Pride as well. I'm not sure yet. We'll work that one out as time progresses. It's one of those things where, if I get around to it, we'll do it. If I don't, sorry.
That's the wrestling show motto.
That is the wrestling show way. So by August, bare minimum, you'll get some merch for Pride Month.
Oh, off the air, I have to talk to you about something.
Awesome. Well, okay, cool. But
little cliffhanger on that, and you're not gonna like it.
Oh, my favorite! I can't wait. But that's pretty much it.
It does have to do with the show.
Oh, God damn it!
So
here we go.
Yep.
Spoiler. It's been a good run. Well, that's pretty much it for the show. I am at TWS Sleazy. Fatman's at TWS Fatman, and the show's Twitter is at Sleazy Fatman. We are also on Instagram. We're also on Facebook at facebook.com/Sleazy and the Fatman. Go like us. We're close to 500. We need to get over 500, goddammit. And follow us on Instagram. I'm going to start posting on there garbage and just stupid shit. And maybe I can get us banned again on Instagram. I'm hoping. But that's pretty much it for the show. For Sleazy.
For the Fat Man.
This is The Wrestling Show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Peace.
I'm a truth that you seem to run from. I'm an army of one. I'm a clip in your gun. I'm the pain in the game. The bloodshed in your name. When there's nothing to gain, I'm the world gone sad.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.